Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to another mobility session with me, Tom, and I'm here with Jess today. We're going to run you through some stuff to help you get a little bit more comfortable in some of the positions you might find yourself in the gym, and we're going to open up your hips and your low back a bit and get them moving a little better. So Jess is going to make her way into a deep squat. She's going to get comfy at the bottom of one of those. You're going to find that her hips may not sit in the same position as yours, and that's okay. We want you to be where you're comfortable. And we're just going to breathe while we're here. We're going to breathe in for 4, hold at the top for 2, and breathe out for 6. And we're just going to spend a minute or 2 in this position. Now, if you were someone who really wanted to improve their squat depth, I'd recommend you start trying to own this position and spend quite a fair bit of time down here. So you're looking at sort of 1 to 10 minutes a day. Obviously 10's a lot. I'm not going to make Jess stay here for that long, but just starting to spend more time in the positions that you're not quite good at or that you're not comfortable in, and really build on that over the next little while. Alright, you'll see that Jess has got her elbows between her knees. She can use her elbows or her hands there to force her knees out wider if that's comfortable, or she can let her knees sit in wherever her hip feels good and she's confident and comfortable, I should say, I'm happy with. Alright, from there, Jess is going to drop her right knee in towards her midline. It can come to the floor, and she's going to push her hips through. She's going to sort of activate through her hips and then drop back around the other way. So we're letting one leg internally rotate, that's the knee that's going to the floor. She's going to drive her right knee out to the side and really try and externally rotate through there. Good. And then move back the other way. We're going to go through 4 or 5 of those. Really just trying to think about getting our hips moving a little bit better, greasing the groove, if you will, and getting them to be mobile and function well under some load. And the load in this case is only our body weight, which is good. From there, Jess is going to move back into that middle position. She's going to take her hands and pop them on her feet. She's just going to come into a frog squat. So what that's going to look like, lifting her hips right up and back as high as she can get them. She can get almost all the way to straight, which is pretty impressive, and then hips can drop back down towards the floor. If you saw me do this, you wouldn't be impressed at all. I get to about my knees at 90 degrees before my hammies start to really grab. Beautiful. So we're going to breathe as we move through this position. Move through 5 or 6 of those. And as we come up, we want to breathe at the top of that froggy squat. So as our bum or our hips get nice and high, we want to take a big deep breath in, trying to breathe into our low back and into our hammies, and then breathe out as we come down. Good. We're going to slow our breathing down and slow our movement through those poses down, and get a little bit uncomfortable. Alright, from there, we're going to come back down to the bottom of that squat position. Jess is going to leave her left hand on her foot. She's going to reach her right hand and turn her chest and reach right up and through. Beautiful. And you can see that she can get her arm almost to straight up above her there. So she's got some really good thoracic rotation. She's brought her left elbow inside her left knee. She's using that to force herself around a bit more, which is really good. And then we're going to come back down, breathe in, and then as we breathe out, we're going to lift up with the other hand. And you can see here, Jess is not so good moving to her left, and that's okay. What we want to do, and part of why we're doing this, is because we want to identify spots we're weak or spots we're not so good at. So, straight away we know that Jess needs a little bit more attention on that side. So we're going to breathe in, and as we breathe out, we reach up. We breathe in on the way back down. She's going to spend an extra breath with her left hand up here and really push it. Jess is going to make her hands the way back down to the floor. Hands are going to sit on the floor in front of her. She's just going to gently rock back and pop her bottom on the floor and come into a seated posture. Beauty. Legs are going to stay where they are, and then she's going to drop one knee in and the other out. So right knee drops in, yeah. Left knee drops out. We're going to come into a 90-90 sort of position. So yep, perfect. And then from there, she's going to take her right elbow and put it on the ground near her left knee. So she's going to twist through, yep, and fold forward over that front knee for a bit of a glute stretch. And then we're going to come up and out of that position. Rock the knees back to the middle. Rock them over the other way. And then left hand or left elbow comes through near right knee. And we stretch moving that way. We'll spend a breath at the bottom of each position. Perfect. We'll move through 3 more of those on each side. Working on that hip rotation, we're getting a little bit of lower back flexion and rotation as well. We're doing a slightly more active session today, sorry Jess. Alright, Jess is going to make her way into laying down, just flat on her back. She's going to pop her hands out to the sides like a T, legs down flat, so she might need to shuffle back a tiny bit. And then her left leg she's going to bring up, yeah, and then it's just going to roll over the top of her right leg. Beautiful. Now what you'll see here is her left leg, her left knee's off the floor. What I'd love to see is left knee and left shoulder on the floor here. She can take her right hand and put a little bit of downward pressure on that leg. And that's just a bit of weight. We're not trying to force that too much. I don't want her to really push too hard. And we're just going to spend a minute here, breathing deep, trying to get a little bit of movement through our back without forcing anything. So as she breathes out, she can try and sag a little bit further down with that left knee. She's starting to get that towards the floor. Beautiful. But I want that to be a natural sort of opening up rather than like a forcing of her knee down to the floor. Alright, we're going to take that left leg back to the middle. We're going to pop the right hand out to the side. Right leg can come up and over. And we'll roll the other way. Perfect, so we're going to breathe deeply, trying to get right shoulder and right knee down onto the floor. And really try and lengthen through our low back, lengthen through our right hip, and let our ribs and our thoracic spine, also at our rib cage, just sort of melt back into the floor while our hips get pulled the other way. So breathing here will be really important. We're trying to slow that down, We're trying to be in for a count of at least 4 and out for a count of at least 6. Good. All right, we're gonna roll back to flat. We're just gonna let our palms be face up on the floor, feet down flat, and we're just gonna lay here for a minute. We're just gonna kick back and just think about breathing. So we want diaphragm or belly rising and falling, not our chest. Just want to kind of soften into the floor and get, I suppose, acquainted with or used to just chilling out a little bit to end off our mobility and our stretch session. So moving forward, trying to spend a little bit more time in that bottom of our squat position. But yeah, Jess can jump on up out of there. So thanks, Jess, for coming along and having a stretch with us. And give that a go, guys. We'll be doing plenty more hip and low back stuff moving forward. Thanks.